The story begins by showing a dense forest where a man was running frantically in the hope of finding a way out of the jungle. But the forest was so dense that there was no path visible to the outside. This man kept moving forward, looking towards the sun. But now the sun was also slowly setting. Still, the man did not stop running. Running and running, he reached a spot where a board read, "Point of nitrogen monoxide return," meaning no one could return from there. The number 108 was also written on this board. Seeing this, he became even more anxious. Slowly, the darkness intensified, and a strange fear spread throughout the forest. Just then, all the birds suddenly flew away from there. Even after walking for many miles, this man had not seen a single wild animal in the entire forest. He didn't know what it was that even the wild animals were afraid of. Driven by fear, the man ran even faster. But after walking for a few hours, the man suddenly stopped at one place, and disappointment spread across his face. Because in front of him was the same signboard with the number 108 written on it, which read, "Point of nitrogen, return." Now the man understood that no matter how much I run, I will not be able to get out of this forest. So now he started looking for a hiding place there, but he couldn't find any safe place to hide. Due to this, he now climbed up a tree. The one who dragged him was not shown. But we heard the man's painful scream. 6 days after this incident, we see a girl named Mina working at a pet store in the city. Just then, her boss comes and orders Mina to deliver a golden parrot to a zoo far away from the city. Mina agrees to the boss's words and now sets off to deliver the parrot. Mina sits in the car, sets the location of the zoo on her mobile, and starts her journey. After leaving the city, she sees missing photos of many people on a board. That is, many people had disappeared there, but Mina doesn't pay much attention to it and moves on. While moving forward, Mina takes a shortcut through the forest road to reach the zoo quickly with the parrot, and she reaches right in the middle of the forest. This is the same place where we saw a man disappear earlier. Mina was badly stuck there. She looks at the map on her mobile, but there was no mobile signal, and her car radio was also not working. Mina now started to turn back from there. But now the way out of there was not clear to her. After a while, Mina's car also broke down. Mina gets out of the car and sees the point of nitrogen monoxide return board installed in front of her. Mina couldn't understand anything. Because of this, she takes the parrot's cage in her hand and moves forward, looking for help nearby. But there was no sign of any help nearby. Then she returns to the spot where she left her car, but her car had disappeared from there. Seeing this, she became very anxious. She thought that maybe she had not reached the same spot where her car was parked, but had come to some other place, and her car was kept somewhere else, because every point in this forest looked the same. Now the darkness was also getting deeper. Just like the first time, all the birds flew away from these trees. Mina was now starting to feel scared because the ground was also shaking loudly. Mina felt someone's presence nearby. Just then, Mina suddenly saw someone's shadow in the distance. Mina ran after it, but found no one there. Just then, Mina suddenly saw an old woman running. Mina also started chasing her. She was asking for help from her, but that woman didn't stop. She kept running fast. Once again, Mina chases the old woman. Suddenly, the old woman disappeared again. When Mina went further while searching for her, she saw a big house in the distant forest. That old woman opened the door of that house and told Mina, "If you want to live, hurry and come inside." As soon as she heard this, Mina ran towards that house without thinking anything. As soon as Mina came inside, she closed the gate. Mina saw that it was a strange house, in which a very large mirror was installed. There were also 2 other people with that old woman here. Mina nervously asks those people, "What place is this?" In reply, that old woman answered, "We call this place the Cove. My name is Madeline. This girl is Kiara, and this boy's name is Daniel." The old woman tells Mina there is no time to talk now. "Quickly stand in front of the mirror with us, because someone is coming to look at us." Mina asks, "Who is coming to look at us anyway?" Then that old woman does not give her any answer. A strange noise suddenly started coming from outside. Mina asks in fear, "What is this noise?" Then Kiara tells Mina, "We call them the Watchers. They are watching us from the other side of the mirror. But we cannot see them. They come here every night after the sun sets and keep watching us till the morning sun rises." Just then, clamor started coming from the other side of the mirror. Mina asks, "What kind of clamor is this?" The old woman said, "The Watchers are happy with your arrival. They are clapping, seeing you here." Mina was badly confused. She wanted to get out of here as soon as possible. Mina has not seen the ones Madeline called the Watchers, nor has anyone else seen them yet. The night passes. When it is morning, these people come out of that place. Madeline tells them that those Watchers only come out at night. During the day, we can all roam freely in the forest. Mina was thinking all night when it would be morning and I would quickly get out of this forest. Because of this, she immediately starts looking for a way out of the forest. Then Madeline forbids everyone else to stop her. It's as if she knew that Mina will not be able to get out of this forest and she will definitely return. While letting Mina go, Madeline only says, "Your decision is not good. There is no way out of this forest. We have to come back to this house before nightfall. If you are late, you will lose your life." Mina doesn't listen to anyone and quickly moves forward with her parrot. Moving forward a little, she sees the point of nitrogen monoxide return sign. Seeing that, she did get scared, but she didn't lose courage and kept moving towards the sun, looking at the sun, but she was unable to get out of the forest. As she moved forward, the path itself ended. Mina saw that she was standing on a hilltop, from where there was nothing but forest in the distance. Because of this, she sits down, disappointed. Just then, someone suddenly placed a hand on her shoulder. She got scared, and when she turned around, it was the old woman Madeline. Here, Madeline encourages her and says, "You are not the only one who tried to get out of here and lost. We also lost like you and stopped here. There is no way out of here. Come, let me show you something." Madeline takes Mina towards the forest. Madeline tells Mina this forest is a hunter, and we are all its prey. If you want to live, then stay with us. Madeline shows her many point of nitrogen monoxide return signboards, which were placed all around in a circle in the forest, and their house was in the middle of them. Today, the girl named Kiara dances in front of them and says they like all this. It wasn't that these 4 had to keep standing in front of the Watchers every night. These people could do whatever they wanted. Only these people could not turn their backs on them. If they did that, they would get very angry. At night, they only had the problem of the Watchers. But during the day, they also had to face many difficult situations. These people would hunt something from the forest every day to fill their stomachs, which is how they lived their lives. The next day, Kiara and Mina both go hunting in the forest. Mina asks Kiara, "What exactly do these Watchers want?" These people cannot come out during the day because the sunlight burns their skin. Kiara tells Mina that she came to this forest 5 months ago with her husband, and since then, the two of them have been stuck here. But 6 days ago today, my husband went out to find a way in the forest. I hope that he will definitely return and take all of us out of here safely. Here we come to know that actually Kiara's husband was the same man whom we saw at the beginning of the movie, whom someone dragged away from here, and now he is dead. While talking like this, the two of them came back near the house again. Here, Madeline explains 3 rules for survival to Mina. The first one is that she will not open the door of the house at night. The second is that she will not turn her back towards the mirror at night. And the third is that during the day, she will not go near those holes and will stay in the light as much as possible. As long as you follow these rules, you will stay alive. But Mina does not trust Madeline's words at all. Now that night, Mina wanted to know about these watchers. Because of this, she puts her ear to the mirror and tries to listen to the sound. When she doesn't hear anything, Madeline's words about the watchers seem false to Mina. So, she breaks the rule and sleeps with her back towards the mirror, and doing so angers these watchers. They start hitting that mirror loudly. In reply, Daniel answers, "I also haven't seen a watcher until today. And whoever sees a watcher doesn't survive alive." Then Mina explains to Daniel, "I think all this is a story created by Madeline, in which she is trapping us. We should definitely check those holes. Maybe we can find a way to get out of here?" Daniel was also very annoyed being here, and he also wanted to escape from this forest somehow by finding a way. Because of this, he agrees to Mina's suggestion, and the two of them reach near the hole. Now Mina ties herself with a rope and goes down inside this hole. Daniel was holding the other end of the rope so that if anything happened to Mina, he would quickly pull Mina out. Mina reaches the bottom of the hole, where she sees a lot of people's belongings. Mina starts collecting those belongings. All these belongings belong to those people who were prey to the watchers in the forest. Daniel brings out the camera, bicycle, and all the necessary things with the help of the rope. Mina now waits below for Daniel to throw the rope down so she can climb up. And before Mina could get out of that hole, she hears the sound of someone coming inside the hole. Mina quickly starts shouting for Daniel to throw the rope down. But just then, a watcher's hand starts reaching out to grab Mina, but Mina was standing in the sun. Because of this, when the sunlight fell on the watcher's hand, his hand started burning. She knew that these things were not found in the forest, but were found in a hole. She asks Mina, "Tell me, what did you see inside the hole?" But Mina doesn't tell her anything. These people were very happy that tonight these people will be able to see the watchers because Mina had found a camera inside the hole. Daniel somehow manages to connect that camera to the TV so that these people can also see the watchers on TV. Madeline repeatedly tells them, "You are doing this wrong," but these two don't listen to a single word of hers. Tonight, these people were sitting, waiting for the watchers so they could see them. But even though it was late at night, no watcher came to see them today. And now, after a while, something strange was about to happen to them. These people were busy talking when their door was knocked. That is, someone tapped on the door. They quickly looked at the TV and saw their human feet there. Whoever was outside was talking in the voice of Kiara's husband, and he was asking them to open the door quickly. Kiara thought that her husband must have found a way out of here. She quickly gets up to open the door, but Madeline comes in between and doesn't let her open the door. She says, "I know your husband is not outside." Because Madeline knew that no human could reach this house in this darkness of the night. But Kiara doesn't believe Madeline's words and tries to open the door. After which, Madeline tells Kiara, "He is trapping you. You test him. Ask him something that only you or your husband know about." Kiara asks the man standing outside a question about a book that he should have known about. But when the man standing outside doesn't answer, they understand that it is the Watcher. When these people didn't open the door, the Watcher breaks the camera installed outside. And here we come to know one thing, that Watchers can also change their form into that of a human. The Watchers were very angry at their behavior. They started hitting the mirror very quickly, due to which a big crack also appeared in the mirror. But here, Madeline shows intelligence and makes everyone stand in line towards the mirror, due to which the Watcher's anger cools down a bit and they go away from there. Now here Mina tells Madeline, "We stole all these things from the hole." Hearing this, Madeline gets very angry that you have broken the second rule as well. The next morning, Madeline takes all the belongings brought from that hole and throws them back into that hole, due to which the anger of those Watchers cools down a bit. However, now these people started seeing very strange things in the forest, and its biggest effect falls on Daniel. Daniel suddenly starts getting very angry in conversation. On the other hand, Kiara, who had hoped earlier that her husband was alive and would come here and save her from here. But now she knew that her husband would not return, due to which she was completely broken inside, and she decides that she will jump into these holes of the Watchers and take her own life, because now she has no reason to live. She was about to do so when Mina comes and saves her. In the meantime, we see that Daniel was looking at Madeline strangely, and he angrily comes and ties Madeline to a tree. Daniel says, "Now I will not follow any of this old woman's rules. Now only my word will be followed here." Now it was about to be night. Because of this, Daniel ran towards the house, and Kiara also ran after him. But Mina came to Madeline and started untying her rope. On the other hand, Daniel closed the door of the house from inside with Kiara and left Mina and Madeline outside for the Watchers. Mina and Madeline kept crying to Daniel to open the door. They begged Daniel, "Please open the door." But Daniel didn't open the door. Now darkness spread everywhere outside, and it was time for the Watchers to arrive. Because of this, they now had to hide under a dense tree to save their lives. After a while, they started hearing the roaring sound of the Watchers. At this time, we are also shown a glimpse of those Watchers with Mina and Madeline. These people were tall, thin, and terrifying. All came out of their holes and reached that safe house to see the humans. And when these people saw that Mina and Madeline were not there, they started searching for them in the forest to eat them. And when these Watchers go far away, taking advantage of the opportunity, the two of them again reach the safe house and cry to Daniel to open the door. Now pity arises in Daniel's mind, and he opens the door for them. Now, after going inside, first Madeline gets angry at Daniel. And then she makes everyone stand in front of the mirror and says some things about the Watchers. Madeline says, "We have broken many rules until now. So, I don't think the Watchers will forgive us this time. I want to tell you some truth about the Watchers. Actually, when I first came here, I saw something that blew my mind. I saw a replica of myself. Actually, it was a Watcher who was trying to take my form. Although his eyes and hair were not perfect at all." Mina asks, "What are these Watchers anyway?" In reply, Madeline answers, "All these creatures are fairies who once lived alongside humans. Fairies were a magical creature with wings. But as time passed, humans started getting scared, seeing the power of the fairies. Because of this, humans thought of destroying the fairies. The number of humans was greater. So, the fairies could not cope with the humans. Humans imprisoned these fairies in a very big hole in the forest and cursed them to be locked in this hole forever. After that, the fairies remained imprisoned in that hole for many hundreds of years. But then with time, they made a way to come out by digging under the ground. Today, those same fairies come out of the hole in the form of watchers and come in front of us. Although due to living underground for many hundreds of years, they lost their wings and magical powers. And at the same time, the sunlight started hurting them, but they still have the power to change their form. Regarding this, Daniel asks Madeline, "What do these watchers want from us, and why do they look at us every night?" In reply, Madeline says, "These watchers want to live among humans again by coming out of the forest, but they cannot live among humans in their original form. Because of this, they have kept us here so that they can take our form by looking at us and learn the current way of life from us to live among humans." Madeline was saying all this when all the watchers returned suddenly. And when the watchers found out that Madeline and Mina had returned to their house, they all erupted in anger and started trying to break the door. These 4 people pulled the table and placed it in front of the door so that the watchers could not break the door. But the watchers' strength was quite high, and these 4 people knew that the watchers would soon come inside, and their death was visible right before their eyes. Just then, they saw that the carpet had flipped over because the table was pulled to the door. When they removed the carpet, a large iron gate caught their eye underneath. They quickly opened the gate and found out that there was a very large bunker below. These people quickly entered inside that bunker and closed the iron gate from above. These people were worried about the fact that this bunker was present here, and these people didn't even know. There were many facilities below this bunker. Food for 1,000 days, a computer, and many other necessary things were kept. Mina wanted to know who made this place anyway. Because of this, she turns on that computer. A lot of data was safe on that computer, which, after opening, they find out that all these places were made by Professor Martin. Actually, the professor knew about these creatures. He wanted to research these watchers. Because of this, he built this bunker. By showing the lure of money, he would bring other people here for work, and at night. He would leave the laborers in the house upstairs and come and hide here, and the watchers would then eat those people. In the next video, Dr. Martin says that during his research, he found a most unique fairy who could come out of those holes, even in the light. The doctor says that that watcher had taken the perfect form of a little girl whom no one could recognize. She was very good. She did not kill Dr. Martin. Dr. Martin brought her here. Just then, the professor turns the camera to the other side. Then they see that the professor has imprisoned that creature that came in the form of a little girl in a cage. Who knows what experiment the doctor was going to do with her? There were many videos on that computer, and something was said in every video. Mina just wanted to know what happened in the end. Because of this, she plays the very last video, where she sees the professor is about to kill himself and that fairy. Before dying, he tells the people stuck in this forest the way out of here, and says, "If people run in the direction in which the birds fly away in the evening, those people can get out of this forest." He said in this recorded message that if anyone succeeds in getting out of this forest, go to the university and destroy all my research. I made a very big mistake by coming here. After that, the professor went upstairs, and then 2 gunshots were heard, due to which they understood that the professor first killed that fairy and then shot himself. Anyway, tonight these 4 people were very happy because they found the way to save their lives from this forest. The next morning, everyone now comes out of the bunker and sees that their safe house has been completely destroyed by those watchers, and today they must get out of this forest. Otherwise, these people will die because now they didn't even have a house to hide in at night. These people now start moving on the path to get out of the forest here. Those birds that the professor was talking about were going to fly in the evening, but they had to get out of the forest before evening. Because of this, Mina frees the parrot she had. They start walking in the direction it flies. While walking, they found a grave on the way. Madeline sees that grave and says, "There was a time when these people lived with humans, but humans treated them very badly, betrayed them, and left them trapped here in the forest and left themselves. After traveling for a few hours, these people reach near a river. There they find a professor's boat, seeing which these people are very happy. But their happiness was now a guest for a short time, because now it was dark and it was time for the watchers to arrive. Before these people could sit in Dr. Martin's boat and go far away from here. Just then, someone's voice came from behind them. When they turned around, it was Kiara's husband who was screaming for help. He was in a very injured state. Everyone else was sitting in the boat. Because of this, Daniel alone went to help him. Daniel started pulling Kiara's husband towards the boat. But just then, these people saw from the boat that the one Daniel had gone to help was not a human, but a watcher who took Daniel's form right in front of them. Those people could not do anything. Now that watcher killed Daniel. They knew that watchers cannot cross this river. And finally, these people crossed this river and reached the city. And the real twist in the story came after this. After reaching the city, these three people went on separate ways. And after a few days, Mina now quickly came to their university to destroy all their data as per Dr. Martin's words, before she could delete their research data. Just then, she found a tape recorder there, and Mina came to know a new secret from that tape recorder. When humans and fairies lived together thousands of years ago, they would also marry. The children born from the union of humans and fairies had the qualities of both humans and fairies. They were called halflings. There was a specialty in those halflings that they were so adept at changing forms that they could even change the form of a dead person. The professor believed that when humans imprisoned the fairies in a hole inside the forest, the halflings started living secretly among humans by changing their form, and they are still present among humans in some form or another today. When Mina came to the professor's office and started searching there, she found some pictures there that blew her mind. She saw that the woman standing with the professor in the picture was none other than Madeline, and actually, Madeline was the professor's wife. She was confused as to why Madeline didn't tell her these things. To share this heavy confusion, she comes to Kiara and tells her, "The Madeline we met in the forest was actually Professor Martin's wife." But she didn't tell us this truth because she herself was not a human, but a shape-shifting fairy. When I researched, I found out that the professor's wife Madeline had died of cancer many years ago. Hearing this, Kiara says, "Then who was that Madeline who was with us for so long?" In reply, Mina says, "I understand everything." Actually, the professor was very sad about his wife's death and wanted to get her back at any cost. And when the professor came to know about these shape-shifting fairies, the professor imprisoned that shape-shifting fairy in a cage who had come to him in the perfect form of a girl. The professor made that fairy like his wife Madeline by showing her pictures of his wife, because that fairy was different from the rest of the fairies. She could come out even during the day. Mina says, "I have called Madeline here. We have to somehow send her back to the forest." Just then, a car stopped there. When the person who got out of that car, Mina's breath caught in her throat, seeing her. It was Kiara. That is, the one who was with Mina until now was Madeline. She had taken the form of Kiara as soon as Kiara came inside the house. Q. Madeline changed into the form of Kiara's husband and made her unconscious. Mina asks Madeline, "What exactly do you want?" In reply, Madeline angrily says, "I am the most unique creature among the fairies. All my companions used to tease me since childhood. They wouldn't let me stay with them because I was most unique. I was left alone in that forest, and I wanted to come out of that forest and live among humans outside. Then one day, the professor came to that forest. He imprisoned me in a cage. He told me that if I took the form of his wife, he would take me out of the forest. I agreed to his words. The professor taught me everything about Madeline, and later, that traitor professor tried to kill me. But before he could kill me, I killed him. You humans were never trustworthy, and never will be. You also know my truth. So you also have to die. And after killing you, I will live among humans in your form." Saying this, Madeline took Mina's form and started killing her by strangling her. Then Mina tells Madeline, "Did the professor not tell you why you can come out during the day? Actually, you are a hybrid. Half human and half fairy. Because of this, you can live between humans and fairies. I know what it's like to be alone in the world, but you are not the only halfling. There are more halflings like you who are living among humans in some form or another." As soon as she came to know this truth, Madeline's body suddenly started coming into its original form. Her wings came out right before their eyes, after which she leaves Mina right here and flies away from here. After which, the scene of a few weeks later is shown, where Mina has started living with her sister. She tells her sister, "Maybe that fairy is still following me." Then Mina's sister tells her, "Don't be afraid, there is nothing like that." And at the end of the story, we see a little girl who is standing below Mina's house at that time. This was none other than Madeline, who is now living in their world in that form. And with this, the story ends. If you liked this video, please subscribe to our channel and like the video.